Sorry, guys, I made a mistake. Woo! That was deep. I had to go back in and recreate. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone's here in the chat. I hope everyone's on my live. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. This is my first time doing it on StreamYard. So I hope everyone's on the correct format. So give me 1 second. I'm going to mute for a second. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. I had to go out and come back in. So I'm gonna try to get more of my people in. This is my first live on StreamYard. It's not really hard, but I made a little glitch, so I'm gonna try to pull everybody else to this one because I had to come out of one page into the other. So just hold for a moment, please. I'll be right back. Sorry. Still waiting for more people to come in. Hold for a moment, please. Hold for a moment. This was real tedious, but I got it done. So I'm glad that no one is seeing just a blank screen. I'm hoping everybody can hear me loud and clear. This is our first live. Again, my first live for Black American women. Can you please hold for 1 second? I'm still trying to make some adjustments and waiting for more people to come in. So just wait a while because I had to recreate and go in and go out. It was something else. So at least everybody won't see a black screen. This should be better. So can you guys hear me? I feel like that's better. I'll talk out of the flower instead. We had Miss Ida B. Wells up in the corner. And our topic is going to be for the day Black American women, who are we? I'm still trying to wait for some more people to come up. This is my first real one. Some glitches. It's not that hard, but it's just like a lot of new little features to learn. But once you get it, it gets a little bit better. So I'll be learning as I go along, and we'll be having more productive lives from this point on. So let me try to get some more people in because I have to redirect them. So give me a moment. Please stay attentive. I'll be right back. Okay, the topic for today, because I'm just going to go ahead and do what I have to do, is Black American women, who are we? And I came up with a synopsis. Time goes on, I should get better at this. And basically, I say Black American women are women who are born from a Black American woman, rooted in their lineage, which is rooted in their lineage from United States Chattel Slavery. I consider Black American women different in the aspect of our lineage because we are women different because of what we came from, slavery. Slavery has created and molded us to be the women who we are today. We have a different cultural base. We have a different mindset. We have an all around different background. And in my opinion, and many others will soon begin to see that Black American women are unique, and Black is a monolith. Black is only circumvented in the United States. We are the only and true Black Americans, Black American men and women. But my focus on this channel will be on Black American women solely and what we contribute to our society that we helped to build. I came up with a descriptor, and my descriptor says Black American women born from a Black American woman whose lineage is rooted in United States Chattel Slavery. We are feminine with a touch of masculinity. We are original, and we have originality, and I say we have a lot of FLEEK and finesse. We are endless creators. We're always creating. We are trendsetters. Trying to read this in the dark. I got to get me a lamp light. We are justice warriors. Even when we're standing up for causes that may not benefit us or be in the best benefit of us as Black American women. I feel like in a lot of ways, our voices are not heard and not expressed in the way that we express it as true Black American women. And most of all, we are like nation builders. We are not like, we are nation builders. Our ancestors were nation builders. So all of these things, as you read the descriptor, makes us different as Black American women. It gives us a different flair, a different ambiance. And on this platform, I want to be able to have a space where we can come and air out what we feel, how we can solve problems, how we can basically air out our differences as well as solve problems and come up with solutions. I don't want it just to be a space where we're just talking and not just going over what we can make changes on, because I feel like Black American women are not only trendsetters, we change things. We're always, how can I say, we're always innovating, always creating. So this is a space that's going to be unique. It's just getting started. Every Black American woman who descends from United States chattel slavery, we all have different opinions. Even though we're a monolith as being the only Black American women, it is a space that we can basically come forth and show our differences as well as grow together, especially in a time where everyone, in my opinion, speaks on behalf of and airs a voice for Black American women. But I don't feel like a lot of times our true voices are really being heard and understood. I feel like everyone speaks for us. Everyone represents us. We're not truly being represented, definitely in politics and otherwise, as speaking for Black American women. I don't think our true voices are being heard, understood, and basically, I don't feel like we're being pushed to the forefront of what we really believe in. I think Black American women tend to be more conservative. We can be liberal to a certain degree, but as a culture and as a collective, more Black American women are more conservative than we are liberal. There are some things that we do have liberal mindsets on in reference to lifestyles and politics and policies. But I feel like as a collective, we're really more conservative in the way that we move, think, in the way that we raise our families. We tend to, a lot of times, I feel as Black American women get a bad rap. Even despite all of the things we've created, all of the things we've done throughout history, and we still do now, I feel like in a lot of ways our image has been tainted with a lot of things that may not necessarily be us as a collective of women. And these are things I would like to discuss with other women as we begin to grow as a channel. or is this our mindset on how we move now as Black American women, coming from women with bringing as Black American women was not so traditional, because we had to circumvent and act on the aspects of being more masculine while finding out and elevating our femininity. When many times we're not told we're feminine, we tend to act more masculine. And I'm not saying masculine as in acting like a man, masculine as in being independent, because that's how our lineage has been based, because of the different things that have happened through us out of history. We had to formulate in our culture being more of an individual, or I would say independent mindset, in order to survive. And this is not stuff that is our fault. This is just the hand that life has dealt us because of what our ancestors have gone through. So we tend to be raised and reared in a different mindset. And these are things I would like to discuss as, Black American women as a whole. Are these traits good traits? I think so, when balanced in the right way. But in no way, fashion, or form do I feel like Black American women are not feminine. We're very feminine. We are actually the epitome, the very top essence of femininity, because a lot of women from other cultures basically emulate our femininity. But in some sense, it's weird that we get called masculine while yet we are the radiance of femininity. I think a lot of us do tend to be delicate, but sometimes maybe not as much as others, to the degree that maybe you have to be a little bit more brass in order to survive and thrive. And I think we're well rounded. I'm proud of who we are and what we come from as Black American women. And these things, because of our lineage, because of our history, because of our essence and where we're rooted from, it makes us so different and dynamic as Black American women. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, but I would really, really love to express, who are we? Who are we? And I want our true voices to be heard. I feel like a Black American woman is a woman who is born from a Black American woman, born female. I have nothing against any other groupings, but I want a woman who is born with the essence of being born from a Black American woman, and most of all, born female. Because I feel like in a lot of ways, we need to discuss these attributes solely and explicitly between us. A space where it's just exclusively for us, where we can say, who are we as Black American women who are descendants of United States Chattel Slavery. We have so many dynamics around us in reference to our skin tones, hair textures, our religions, how we worship, how we raise our families, how we think, just a lot of things. I think in a lot of ways, our opinions are basically overshadowed by so many others. And this has really happened over the past 50, 60 years. I don't feel like the true essence of Black American women are being heard. And it disturbs me, because in a lot of ways, I don't even think really we know or others know who we are. And what scares me the most, I really don't care how others feel. I want to know, how do we feel? And how did we allow so many others to speak in place of us, when our ancestors, women who were before us, who were the true freedom fighters, our ancestors nailed and built such a dynamic foundation specifically for us, their Black American daughters, those who extend from their womb. So my whole aspect is, how does everyone else then become the essence of who we are as Black women? How is that fair? I feel like we're being jilted and robbed of our culture and our identity. And I feel like as Black American women, we have to gain control. We have to gain more of a presence on what's going on. We have to be more aware of what's going on. I think we're not aware. And when we're not aware, we tend to let things slip, and it seems as if we don't care. But my aspect in this on this channel is to make sure that we are heard. and our true essence of what we believe is understood between us, most of all, and that we set up an alliance and that we set up a code between us as Black American women on what we'll stand for and what we will not stand for, what we'll tolerate and what we do not tolerate. And as most of all, to call out things that we know that does not represent who we are as women and as a culture, because I feel like our cultural aspects and who we are is being manipulated, and I don't like it. And I feel like more women, as they see these things, will not like it either. We are unique as Black American women, and we are the only Black American women. Black American women are specifically and solely rooted in United States chattel slavery. We were born, bound, and created from the essence of United States chattel slavery. There is no other Black woman but the Black American woman who was bred in the United States of America, who built the United States of America. And I want that to be solely noted between us as Black American women. This was a hard aspect to get done. It was a little tedious, but as I started doing this channel, I can see that a lot of things were just being real sloppy in the aspect of being like deterrent. I was almost to the aspect that I didn't want to do it, but that's when I know that's when I needed to do it even more. So even down to the last minute, that's when you can tell when elements around you and principalities around you are basically stopping you from doing things. And most of all, procrastination, myself, and other things around me will sometimes hinder you from moving forward. But whatever you do, push forward. And I'm saying this on today because this was like at the last minute. If I only hear two voices or more voices, it doesn't matter. We will gain strength and magnitude, because just the mere fact of me trying to get it up today and what I went through lets me know that this channel is meant to be. Our voices are meant to be heard, and we will grow, and we will grow like fire. We will grow like wheat across the land. We will elevate like no other, and our voices will magnify like a boomerang. But I feel like our voices need to be heard, because I do not like the image that's being presented for us as Black American women when I don't see this in my own personal livelihood and lifestyle. I don't like what's being presented of how and who we are and how we speak, how we move, how we talk. I don't like it at all. And I feel like as Black American women, we need to start taking up arms to say, this is not me. I don't know who this is, but this is not me, and I do not tolerate this. And if it is me, we as Black American women correct our Black American women in those spaces who are doing a misrepresentation. Because our ancestors did not go forth and build for us to have someone to take over our identity, to speak on behalf of us. Our ancestors, as they lay across this land, as their blood and as their bones are fertilized and enrich this land, as their bloodshed went forth so that we can have the freedoms and the voices that we have today, I don't think they would appreciate the image that is represented for them as Black American women. They know and they understand and they can feel who comes from their womb. We can feel it. I was listening to a content creator, and she was saying something so profound when she was saying that she can still feel her ancestors even when she watches and reads things about what they went through to make sure that we have the freedom that we have today, and tears rolls down her eyes, and she feels like she can still feel what they endured during slavery, because the trauma of what they went through and the magnitude of what they went through was so profound that we still can feel it 400 to 500 years later. And I still feel that today when I see other women who act as and pretend to be as us who are not us. And I feel like they're calling out a mighty cry and saying, you need to fix this. This is not who I am. This is not who you are. And this is not what I sacrificed my life for. So as Black American women who descend from United States chattel slavery, as we raise our daughter, this is our stance, to make sure that our ancestors' voices are heard, to make sure that the sacrifices that they made for us is not done in vain, and to make sure that their name is not ridiculed. I see it constantly from others who are melanated, who take on the trait of acting like they're us. But our ancestors are saying, no, you know dang well that is not me, and that is not you, and that is not what I died for. It is time for us as Black American women to stand up like we've never stood up before. Many say we're in the last days. I said we're in the beginning. For us as Black American women, this is an awakening. For others, it may be judgment. For many in our group, it may be judgment because of the decisions that they made not to stand. And that's one thing our ancestors did. They always stood and they taught us how to stand. We're not runners. We stand. We're not perfect, but we stand. And yet we always still rise. And in these last times, it may be one way for other groups, but it's another way for us. I feel like we're being pulled to and from, where we're not heard on our issues, but everybody wants us to fight for their issues. I feel like we go through so much within our own personal group, where we're even having conflict with the male counterparts in our group, but they too are going through. I feel like we're being set one towards another. But at the end of the day, all of these things, no matter what they do, we're still here. We're still here. We're still here, and we're still pushing forward, and we're going to continue to push forward. This is the area where we as Black American women can say, what do we want for ourselves as Black American women? What should we stand for? And what should we not stand for? And what will we not allow? It's time for us to air out our differences. And most of all, it's time to learn the history of the women that were before us, our Black American mothers, our Black American grandmothers, our ancestors who stood in proxy for us and laid down their life across this land for us, our ancestors whose blood and bones grace throughout this great state that we call the United States of America. No, America's not perfect, but we built it. Our ancestors built it, and they built it for us. And we need to know most and foremost that we are Black American. We're not African, we're Black American. We're not African, we're Black American. We're not Caribbean, we're Black American. We are Black Americans who descend from United States Chattel Slavery. This is the place where we learn about our ancestors. This is the place where we learn about ourselves. This is the place where we learn how we get the mindset that we have today. Because history, if we do not learn it and understand it, we are bound to commit those same mistakes. This is where we learn to never forget. This is where we learn to never forgive, because some things cannot be forgiven. But in everything we do, we can move forward. So I would like us to bring forth ideas. I would like this to be a space where we can, again, grow together, learn together, help edify and uplift one another. This is a space where I want us to understand our differences. This is a space where I want us to elevate and grow like we've never grown before. Life in America is about to get really hard. Life in America is about to change as we know it. But most of all, this is a space where we can say, look, how do we thrive and survive? Our ancestors went through their period. We're going through a whole different aspect. And there's so much we have to learn, so much we have to learn about our history, so much that we have allowed to just be buried, but so much we have to pull out. And it's like our ancestors are saying, now is the time to learn. Now is the time to spread it to your children. Now is the time to understand who you are and what you are made of. Now is the time to unravel all of the secrets, all of the lies, all of the truths. This is our time to rise, not our time to fall. I feel like in a time that is most pessimistic, that's when we arise most of all. Are a lot of us afraid? Yes, we can feel the energy and the atmosphere of our country change. But it's like I also feel like we were built for this. Are we all of us ready for what's about to come? No, but I feel like together we can be. I feel like it's a time and a space for everything. There's a time to have joy. There's a time to have pain. There's a time to be happy. There's a time to be sad. But most of all, we have to be more creative. We have to be more innovative. This is not a time that we can just lay down and just fall apart. This is a time that we have to stand linking arm in arm with family members, with friends from in our community as Black Americans. I'm learning a lot, and I have learned a lot over these past 4 years about who we are. And it's like so deep. It's like I'm learning something new every day. Now, this space, again, is going to be specifically for Black American women who are born from Black American women, who are born female, who are the descendants of United States chattel slavery. But there are other spaces that you can listen to learn more things. Mouthy Megan, she's out at this present moment because she's on maternity, enjoying her bundle of joy. I hope one day she will return. This was really hard. So if she happens to listen to this live one day, she'll be like, girl, I'll have a lot to talk to her about. BSIA, he's unique. He has a panel where you can go to and everyone can express their concerns and what we're going through as Black Americans, but it's also a space where you can learn. It's open, it's raw, it's intense. And then we have Todd Direct, who's on Twitter, and he basically has a space where he's talking about take back Black. And we'll understand the concepts of what it is to be Black, who we are as Black Americans, who are the descendants of United States Chattel Slavery. But again, this space is for Black American women, solely for Black American women. Others can listen. Sometimes they may be able to participate, but I wanted this space specifically for us. And I'm just basically here to say it's a lot that we have to learn. It's a lot that we have to grow on. It's a lot that we have to do. I don't want this just to be a space that we talk. I want it to be able to expand where we can do things, because so many people are going to be in need, especially Black American women. We have a lot of Black women who are single moms. We have a lot of Black American women who are in marriages. And we just have to elevate ourselves and our families as a whole. This is what I want this space to be, a place that we can come to and get solutions, air out our problems and differences, a place where we can grow as women, a place where both young and old can come together, as well as we can have our separate spaces where we can talk on issues that affect us according to the age group that we're in, or the lifestyle that we may lead as Black American women. A place where we can have understanding for one another, even though we may not agree. We can have a better resolve on how we can agree to disagree. I feel like in this time period, we're going to need to stand arm in arm, because so many people are going to be feeling in a way that's desolate, especially around the time of the holidays and with everything that's coming. A lot of people, I hear them saying it just feels so different. The energy feels different. It doesn't even feel the same anymore. It's like the whole spiritual element is thick, intense. It's like, even though this is America, it's not the America that we knew and we grew up in. You can feel the very elements around us change. And I like to call myself clarity dimensions, because I want clarity. And it feels like in a lot of ways, as we wake up from day to day, it feels like I'm in another dimension. It doesn't feel like it's the same dimension. That's why I picked clarity dimension. It feels like from day to day, we're moving from dimension to dimension. It doesn't feel like the same place that we grew up in as children. It feels like we're grasping to remember who we are, what we came from. It feels like everything is becoming sometimes so distant and dismal. It feels like we're grappling sometimes for just the space to have joy and happiness. It feels like sometimes things can be bleak, but then it always seems to be a ray of hope. Like we always have that zest, that energy to push forward, even though something keeps pulling us back. It feels like that energy is saying, move forward. No matter what, just keep moving. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Even when times seem more pessimistic and we're just losing our last fight, it's something that's always saying, no matter what, keep moving, keep pushing, keep pushing. And I want us to keep moving, keep pushing, keep learning, keep understanding, and to hold each other up. As Black American women, I feel like we're a spiritual woman. I'm out of the aspect for me as being a religious woman. I'm not too much into religion, but I feel spiritual. I always feel this connection to God. Some may say, well, I don't believe in God. Some may say, well, I do believe in God. But for me, on a personal level, I feel like God is a focal point in the Black American community. And most of all, is very focal when it comes to Black American women. We are very spiritual women. We always and have always relied on the presence of God. So I feel like whatever you believe, however you believe, whatever spiritual aspect you believe in, magnify that in your life. But most of all, put that in the forefront, and then put yourselves first as Black American women. For the first time, we need to learn how to cultivate ourselves, be more understanding when it comes to ourselves, be more patient with ourselves, because so many times we are pushed to the side. So many times we're not heard. So many times we're expected to do things that we're not necessarily wanting to do. But even in those things, we still press forward. As Black women, I feel like a lot of times we have to stand in the proxy for others, even when others are not standing in the aspect for us, on the proxy for us. I want us to start standing for ourselves as Black American women. I want us to start putting our individual selves first, that we can be stronger, so that we can come together as a group and as the collective and be a mighty wall, to be a mighty moving wall. Well, I don't say walls don't move per se, but to be a mighty moving force. I would love to see how we could innovate and grow as Black women, have understanding with one another as Black women. And I would like to learn, who are we truly as Black American women, and what do we want to represent? And what do we represent as a whole, as well as what do we represent as individuals? This is our time, I feel like, in the midst of this crazy, dynamic, out of control storm. This is our time to grow. This is our time to shine. In a time when many people are running away, this is our time to come together and grow like we've never grown before. So as Black American women, we have to learn to lift one another up. We have to learn how to be more understanding. And most of all, we have to learn how to have that third eye and be more discerning. Because just because someone is melanated does not mean they're us. It's time for us to know who we are. Know who you are as an individual, but know who we are as a collective. And I want to get these things understood in our community, because I don't want everybody just to be called Black American or Black just because of their skin tone. That's not fair to us. And I feel like it rubs us out as Black women, because not everyone is a Black woman. A Black woman is a woman who is born and rooted. Her lineage, our lineage, is rooted in United States chattel slavery. And as we study in this space, you'll see we are the only Black people. We are the only Black women. We are Black American women whose lineage is rooted in United States chattel slavery. We have many names. Some call us ADOS. Some call us FBA. Some call us freedmen. Some say we're Black Seminole. Some say we Negro. Some say we colored. Some have even went on to the aspect to say we're African American, even though many of us do not like that term. And I think that term will start to dissipate as we learn more of why we don't. Many of us do not want to be called African. But all of us do agree we don't mind being called the term of Black. Most of us as a collective. When you say Black, most people know that's a Black American whose lineage is rooted in United States chattel slavery. And all before, that's what we were called: Black, Black American, colored, Negro. African was basically introduced in the late 70s, 80s under Jesse Jackson. And some of us are learning that introduction on why we got that name was not something that we actually picked or chose as a collective. It was just thrown at us. And I have nothing against Africans. I have nothing against Caribbeans, but I had no problem with being called Black. Like the late James Brown used to say, I'm Black and I'm proud. Or as we always heard Smokey Robinson say, he's Black. Black American, Black and proud. And it was Black people who fought for our freedoms, fought for our rights, fought for us to have what we have today, even though we're still pushing to attain what we're looking for, which is reparations, and to attain that goal of the debt that is owed to us because of what our ancestors endured and because of what we still suffer today. But yet we still push forward. So this is a space, again, we'll learn, we'll understand one another, a place where we can have some, how you say, solemnness between one another, some compassion towards one another. I would definitely love us to have more compassion for one another as Black American women, because in this time, we're going to need that compassion in order to rise. We're going to need that compassion in order to survive. We're going to need that compassion and love for one another in order to thrive. We're going to need understanding. I heard, like, when you look in the biblical context, with all thy getting, get understanding. And this is what I want us to get understanding, apply it to our lives, edify it, cultivate it, and move forward as Black women. I was hoping for more to be on the space, but this one I clicked on at the last minute. It was kind of hard. I kind of clicked off one and it deleted it. So then I had to go back in and create this space. So I'll be learning how to put more slides up, put more information in. But as long as I get one or two in the midst, hey, as time goes on, we'll grow more and more each day. So I did learn how to do it on this one. This is a little bit better. I was about to delete to delete my other two videos, but I think I'm gonna keep them as souvenirs so I can see each time how I've grown more and more as I do this. I hope to see more Black women on this space. I'll be doing it on Thursday and Friday. No, Thursday and Saturday between 8:30 and 8:30. I think 7:30. So it'll be every Thursday, every Saturday between 7:30 and 8:30. And sometimes it may be a little later. I will like send it out, but I'm gonna try to do 7:30 and 8:30 because I want to give people enough time to get themselves relaxed off from work to do whatever you have to do so we can get on the space. And I hope that more Black women will come in and participate in the stream as well as listen to the stream, as well as send me information that we can utilize and talk about on these streams. I want to also have a period where we can have like books that we read about Black American women and what they contributed to our society, Black American women inventors. And I want to speak about Black American women who are still inventing today and Black American women on how to innovate new ideas that they may have now, because it's not that they created then. We have 50,000 inventions that we've created as a collective, as Black American men and women. But I would like to figure out what are we still creating and innovating and motivating today so that we can be a support to one another in these trying times. Black American women who can give new innovative ideas on how we can build better communities. Black American women who can give ideas on how we can be better mothers, be better teachers for our children, because the school systems nowadays are not really that good, especially when it comes to our children, our precious packages. I feel like Black American women should be more teachers now in the essence of what's going on. I don't think we can really rely on others to do the work that we need to do as Black American women. I think we need to be teaching our own children, motivating our own children, because these school systems don't really have their best interests in mind. And I think a lot of us can agree on that. But a lot of us can't necessarily teach from home, because a lot of us do have to go out and work, but there are Black American women who have the certification to do so. So maybe they can set up a perimeter where they can be the teachers and we can pay them who love to teach our children. Maybe we can find them in areas that we live in, that they can be the teachers who are trustworthy to teach about our history, who we are. Those people who have a love for our children, but are not given the opportunity to teach in school systems because they've been pushed out. These are many things that we need to talk about. So many things that we need to learn how to start innovating and moving forward on as Black women, because this may be a system that we can't necessarily rely on anymore to do the work that we need to do. We always say they never taught us our history. Well, it's not up to them to teach us our history. It's up to us to know our history. We need to teach it in our homes, and we need to teach it as a community, and we need to put it out there as much as possible. Because again, if we do not know our history, if we do not know what our ancestors went through, then we're bound to make mistakes that can cause us to fall further into a gap that we're already sinking into. They always try to put stumbling blocks before us in this system. It's basically just against us. It's not against anyone else. No one else has this system against us like us. White supremacy strictly and solely aims its aim at Black Americans who are the descendants of United States Chattel Slavery. They put obstacles, walls, barriers, redlining, whatever they can do is always a trick to basically keep us in a certain position. But yet, despite all of that, we still push forward, we press forward. And this is the time that we need to learn how we need to move politically as Black women, how we need to have a mind that's creative. Maybe we need to know how to move more strategically. We don't all think alike. We don't all move alike. But as a collective and as a culture, we do have cultural attributes that we do practice, which makes us who we are as Black American women, even though we may be unique in our individual stance on certain things. So again, I feel like this is the place where will learn how to be more accountable, not just accountable. Hopefully this can be a space where we can learn how to be more profitable. Hopefully this can be a space where we can learn how to help heal one another, get the mental structure that we need, because we need peace of mind. One of the main things that I want us to have as Black women is to have peace of mind, a peace that passes all understanding. Because in these trying times, you're going to need peace, and you're going to need a stable mind and a steady head. Anxiety and breaking apart will not help us to thrive in this turbulent time that's about to come. And many of us know it's coming. And many of us are already going through as Black American women. So again, I want this to be a space where we can edify one another, grow together, learn from one another. And I hope to get more people who are watching, who can engage, who can add to this content. I want this to be a space where we can just do many things, and hopefully we can branch off, and other women will create spaces for us as Black American women born as Black American women born female. A space where we really need this space as Black women. A place where we can test each other's resolve, correct one another, laugh together, cry together, grow together. So again, I hope to see you on Thursdays. I hope to see you on Saturdays between the hours of 7:30 and 9:30. So I'm going to keep it at 7:30 and 9:30. So 7:30 and 9:30, to give you enough time to do what you have to do, because a lot of people, again, have to work. They want to take their time to relax. And I hope to, again, see you on this space every Thursday and Saturday. I'll try to make sure I put out more content we can talk about. And you can send out content to my email address at claritydimensions1909@gmail.com. So send me content information that we can talk about. I'll try to put that in the chat, or put it where someone can get the information as we go along, so we can get more things that we can talk about. Again, I would like to have a book club where we can read about different things. It doesn't have to necessarily just be about Black American women inventors. We can talk about a whole lot of things, about vegan diets, different things that we can cook, different things that we can learn to bake, grow. We're going to talk about a variety of things. This station is not going to be just one dimensional, but what it will be on is how we move as Black American women, how we do as Black American women, and what we feel and what we think, both politically, spiritually, economically, how we run our households, things that we can do to innovate as Black American women, whether we're single, married, whatever the case may be. This is going to be our space. And I feel like this is going to be a space where we can say, this is what we tolerate, this is what we need, this is how we grow, this is what we don't do, this is us, this is not us, this is not what we stand for, and so forth. So this is a space where, again, whether we're young or old, because we need that wisdom. We need the older ones to give them the wisdom of what they endured. We need the younger ones to tell us what they're going through now, to say, this may have been how it was for you, but this is how it is for me as a Black woman. This is going to be a space where we speak about what we need and what we need to do to grow as Black American women. This is not a space that's man-centered. This is a space that's specifically and solely woman-centered on Black American women, their needs, their issues, their resolves, and what we have to do as a community. So again, I hope to see you on this space. I hope that we can come together in unity, come together in love, even if we have derision and then stuff that we don't agree on. This is the space for that. We don't always have to agree, but we will learn how to agree, to disagree, and we'll learn how to come to some compromise and resolutions. So whatever religion you may be in, whatever your sexual pretense may be in, doesn't matter. This is the space solely for Black American women, born of a Black American woman, rooted in United States Chattel Slavery, born most of all female, because I want to make sure I stick with those issues. I have nothing against someone who is of any other aspect. I just want to make sure I keep it specifically here on us as Black American women, born female, born of a Black American woman who's a descendant of United States Chattel Slavery, because I want to make sure this space is specifically for us, because there are many things that we need to talk about and come through. I heard some people who were saying from another station we was on that they wanted to talk about PCOS. I know a lot of Black American women suffer from PCOS or endometriosis, different things that may affect their fetal or fertility. That's something that's a big problem within the Black American community. A lot of Black American women suffer from that, and they suffer in silence. And a lot, we don't get the care and resolve we need. So hopefully, maybe in time, we'll get more nurses, more doctors who may be in the field, however few it may be, and they can talk to us about what we can do and what services we could attain, because a lot of Black women are going through that. That was something that I heard coming up in one of the spaces, as well as Black American women and their concern when they go to hospitals or different places to give birth. I know a lot of Black American women, we're talking about getting more into the aspect of being doulas, so that Black American women can have more home births. So that would be something wonderful. I've seen a lot of home births between Black American women, and it seemed that it was safer, and that the babies and the mother and just the atmosphere was just all around better, and it was more healthy. So that would be something that we can talk about. Again, I've noticed that a lot of Black American women are doing things in the aspect more of fitness. That's something I'm doing. I've been a little stagnant lately. We know why we've been, but we're going to get that back in order. A lot of Black American women I've noticed are going into the vegan route, eating less meat and eating more vegetables and fruits. So it's a lot of things that we can talk about, and we can push forward on this space. And again, bring forth your ideas on what you want to talk about, or what we need to talk about as Black American women. But my main thing I want to say, and I'll continue to say, as well as on other lives, Black American women, who are we? And give your ideas of who you think we are. Black American women, who are we? I would like you to put it in the chat. Leave it in the chat as you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe, maybe if you listen to it later, and write down, Black American women, who are we? Those who may listen later, Black American women, who are we? And what do we contribute? Hey, Sheena. No, you didn't miss it. You just coming in, but I will be up on Thursdays, and I will be up on Saturdays. I was trying to wait for more to come in. Again, this is going to be our space solely and specifically for Black American women who are descendants of United States Chattel Slavery, as you was here when I was on BSI spot. Sheena is a vegetarian or a vegan, so she gives a lot of ideas on different chat formations. So she could probably give out different things that Black American women can start to try and experiment with to change up our diets as this economy changes and different things may not be available. We're going to have to learn how to be more, how you say, creative. So I'm hoping to learn more about that. I know, I'm sorry. I had to come out of one station into the other, Sheena, because what happened was when I deleted one, it came out. So from here on in, you will definitely get my notification. So I'll make sure everyone gets it on time and everyone can be here. And I'll make sure I start on time because I was late, but I did try to get it up. It was a little difficult, this one, but I'll have it together more and more better each and every live stream. So this was a little difficult, but we'll get it. We'll get it together. As Black, we will get it. So in any case, again, this will be our space where we can grow, learn, and come together and air out our differences, come up with solutions, air out our problems. But most of all, I want to come up with solutions. I need this to be a space where we can grow, and I need us to magnify our identity of who we are as Black American women, as well as have a discernment of who is and who is not a Black American woman, because I see a lot of melanated women who tend to portray us in a way that's not suitable, and it's not who we are as Black women. It disturbs me, and maybe some people may say, oh, it doesn't bother them. Maybe others may say, yeah, I tend to find it disturbing, but I didn't feel like it was a space where we could say anything, or it may be shunned upon. But this will be a space where we could say, no, that is not us, or this is us, or this is what we stand for, or the whole not, or we can call it out. like I said, as Black American women, if we see something that's degenerate and being portrayed as us when it is not. I think this is the time to do that. I think this is the time to call out those differences, those traits, especially if it's not something that we do. I feel like women from all cultures should hold onto their cultural identity, their ethnicity, and represent themselves as we will represent ourselves. And we don't want to be misrepresented, just like I'm pretty sure they won't want to be misrepresented. So again, not everyone is a Black American woman. There is a Black American woman. We are the only Black American women. Black American women are the descendants of United States chattel slavery, which with lineage rooted in United States chattel slavery. We are the only Black people, and we're the only Black women, and it's time for us to take that stance. We can't have everyone just mold into our identity and just mesh us out or push us out of who we are as Black women. And I feel like as Black American women, if we don't take this stance now, everyone will be saying they're us and our voices won't be heard. So we need to start pushing forward, learning our history, pushing forth our lineage, pushing forth what we will stand for, what we won't stand for. And we need to start teaching this to our community, our daughters, and just overall just learning. And again, if you have any books that we can read that can help edify us as Black American women, that would be wonderful. It doesn't have to be just on inventors or people of the past. It can be from people from the future. We want to make sure, or the present, we want to make sure we note stuff from our past, present, and stuff that we can also push forward in our future. So it's a lot that we have to do. I hope, again, that this space can grow. We can learn together, come together in unity, resolve our differences. Yes, we definitely need to love ourselves. A space where we can definitely learn how to love ourselves, respect ourselves, love ourselves, and come up with a standard for ourselves where we can build boundaries, expectations. We can demand higher expectations of ourselves and those who want to be in our presence. And we can have standards. We have to learn how to have standards, boundaries, expectations, standards. We need to thrive. We want to make sure that anyone that is in our presence or anyone that wants to be around us, whether it's male or female, that that person is there to edify, to uplift, no one to pull us down. We have gone through and we continue to go through a lot as Black American women in the United States of America. Sometimes I feel like we get a bad rep, but thank God for a lot of the stuff that we do. It overshadows all of the negativity that they still try to throw before us, because at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff is just a lie. It's not true. But it doesn't negate the fact that sometimes it's hurtful. And it's like we're still pushing forth on things and trying to erase things that does not necessarily deem our personality or our character. So this is what we want to do in this space. Have a space where we can rectify a lot of those things, and a space that we can shut down those negative points and viewpoints about us. And in a space we can let it be known that is not us, that is not true. We're not standing for it. This is not what we tolerate. So again, we'll be in this space every Thursday and every Saturday between 7:30 and 9:30. I'll make sure I be ready. You be ready. Please show back up. I'm sorry that I had to click one out and pull one in, because it was like just real crazy. StreamYard was like taking me through. So I am learning a lot. It's not that bad as I start to get it up. I assume I'll get better and better at it. I look at Mouthy Megan and BSIA, and I'm learning like, wow, they're really good at this, and hopefully I get to be it, if not better. It is a lot of work. So let's support one another. And most of all, when she comes back, support them both and support Ty. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share, so that with Black American women solely. Doesn't matter with what age group they are. So we want to share our space with other Black American women who are descendants of United States chattel slavery. Let us grow this channel so we can learn, grow together, and come together in unity. Be safe on this Saturday evening. Have a good night. And I hope to see more in the next live. Talk to you soon. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Peace out and be safe. Again, keep your head on the swivel, and I'll see you on either Thursday or Saturday. I'll make sure that the live is up and ready, and hopefully you get notifications. See you soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.